It's funny how normal the forest seems now. As a toad, it was all so much more ominous and threatening. Where's Cryo? Oh yeah, crap. Welcome back. I trust you found Aaronville, then. Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Cryo, then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers? So when tranced by, the rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decides to wander. What's happening, Cryo? Who is speaking to you?
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Heidelin? Is Heidelin speaking to you?
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
You being another oracle?
Thank you.
Oh, snap.
Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment.
Snap.
Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment.
Silence, basically.
It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well.
Dang.
Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you.
And another who may yet have a part to play.
Take the flower. Walk free, for you are free. To go where you wish, to believe what you will.
The music in the background was timed so well with my clicking.
That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
Heidelin's blessing even do anything for me anymore? She's so weak.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread. Imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
Is that flower gonna change throughout the expansion?
You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong!
Oh no. What's happening? Oh no. It's the Forum's goons. Oh no, it's their dad. It's even worse.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian.
I knew it. He ratted us out.
A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What, then, is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Her absent companion. Stinian, Thancred, and Urianger all went to Thavnir. Graha.
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
That is probably the best course of action. But I don't.
Silence
really don't
is
wanna do
often
that.
one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Dang. Oh, Crowd doesn't have a hood on. I don't have my dwarf mask on. Dang.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, We managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The forum will come to order.
What do you know, Grah?
This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Kyle's hair is nice. I like it.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea.
Don't want to go to the moon.
You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Yes.
Can they not even talk about
We
it?
are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Ah, that's from the trailer. That's from the trailer. I remember that.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuner, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania.
Do what you do best, Alphino.
Still, in the midst of my uncertainty,
Beat them with words.
I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
He's not gonna be on our side,
Honestly,
though,
every
probably.
discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, hmm? By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches.
He acknowledges it is the doom.
But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections.
Oh snap. He is on our side. He is on our side.
Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order!
Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, The students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlian. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
How the heck are you supposed to count all this? This room's in a big circle. In a spiraling circle.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed.
What the heck? He just like glanced out there and he counted everyone so fast. What the heck? You can barely even see that person in the back there with their hand up. He just counted everything. All 99 people. Like in an instant.
Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Dang. So we can't do any investigating. Thank the gods for Scholar. Mana change. Absolutely loathe arguing in circles. Alpha, no. My father may be right. That I am still groping in the dark for answers, but I needed him to know that I would never stop searching. I owed him. I owed that much to Arnvald and myself. Me and Countess raise eyebrows, but do continue to claim the students as your sponsor whenever so the need arises. I believe in the guiding principles of science. I know my grandfather would have as well. Apologize for the trouble I've caused you. I was pondering the significance of what I had just read as I left the restricted section. I nodded over the security mammoth on my way out. I promised to be more vigilant. Security mammoth? Like a guard dog, but a little squirrel thing? What the heck? At least we've been allowed to remain in the city. Our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered the ethereal sea. With our freedoms so sorely curtailed, however, we struggle to learn aught more substance here in Sharlian. The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but this in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about their duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may. His father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family. Alphino, Alice, it is you. When I heard you'd been dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother? Their mother? Oh, snap. Ameliance Levelier, at your service. And you fine people must be the signs of the seventh dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please, we don't wish to make things difficult for you. Word reached his father that you were here. Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Fortuno and are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. Oh my god. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. Dang. Their mom. It's so nice. This time couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss the matters with Thanker's group and reconsider our options. Go. This is your home. We'll be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure Zeno, what do you think? Zeno? The Zeno Jiva? She knows who I am? What a splendid day that has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. Oh, snap. Ah, but we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Zeno, you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. And then she was gone, and with her any opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. I am glad that the mom is nice and wants to see them. I feel like the twins need it right now. I'm sure Alphino thinks nothing of it. He invited classmates over all the time, but I wasn't the most. It was a difficult time for me, alright? Oh, dang. I apologize, my mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I am glad relieved, even, to see her in such high spirits. I'll say, Zeno, though it seems we have shall have little enough time to enjoy it. Will you accompany us on our visit home? Okay, here we go. The Levier Estate. How fancy is it? Oh, very fancy. Look at all these
my lady.
servants.
What? What are you gawping at?
The big stairways, the chandeliers, the servants. It's a lot of stuff. House Levier is all in all its grandeur. Sand headquarters must seem squalid indeed. It's admiring the craftsmanship. It's admiring the craftsmanship.
Oh, I suppose I never gave the decor much thought. I'm glad that you approve, I think.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
What do you get it? New clothes, maybe?
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying.
She's so tall. She's so tall to me, compared to me. Oh my god.
Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations.
Oh snap. Donations straight from Charlian.
Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name. 'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Oh, you know, I've killed like a dozen gods at this point. Saved the multiple worlds. You know, the usual everyday thing. Oh.
When you mentioned gifts,
New
I wasn't sure what to
outfits.
expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly
Very
what I would have
snazzy.
chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alpha now.
This is a trailer. Outfits.
Naturally. You are
Looks like
hardly
it.
little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother.
Also very stylish.
Comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
Oh, what would that be?
If you'd allow me, Master Alphino.
Is it like a family crest or something? I don't know if they have crests or not. Sage Alpha, no. Very nice.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now.
Would he not notice that they're gone? I feel like he would notice they were gone. Even if they were in storage.
And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
It doesn't matter. Mother doesn't care. She doesn't care. And the soul stone.
I am told
Nice.
these devices are quite difficult to master. But someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's, the timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
Good. They needed this.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Well, we're off. Save the world. Thank you, Alpha Nose Mom, Alize's mom. Very much appreciated. That was that. Only Galaxy One will be back in. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice. So these tokens of home that will carry it with us. These gifts that help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality. Let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions. Enjoy your time with the Lovers, I hope. But that's how the twins fared, but the new outfits tell the tale. Only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret that forms our side. The flower bequeathed to you by Hydaelyn should guide us going forward. Be confident that once you've scouted out the situation, Thavnir will be equipped to plot out our next move. State visitor complete.